Next up, we have Steve Devlin from Karora Resources. Steve's a recognised mining industry geologist with over 30 years in senior management and corporate roles. Steve's experience covers exploration, business development and integrated mining operations in WA with a focus on gold exploration and mining. Steve commenced with Karora in February 2019 and was instrumental in the growth of the Beta Hunt gold resource, underpinning the current and future mining. He's also ex-president of WACT, which is an acronym for the Wine Appreciation Club of Kalgoorlie and Eastern Districts, where he said he learnt a lot about wine and told me it's an example of some of the left field opportunities that being in Kalgoorlie can throw you. Over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jane. And hello everyone. I'd like to thank Diggers and Dealers for organising this tremendous event here in Kalgoorlie. I'd also like to thank Karora for giving me the opportunity to present here today. As a geologist, I'm excited to give you an insight into some of the key aspects of geology around our deposits. I've got the normal disclaimer slides here. Okay, Karora, and Karora becoming the next 200,000 ounce producer. Karora is a gold and nickel mineral resource company based in Toronto, Canada, with a focus on gold production. In 2021, Karora produced 113,000 ounces of gold. It owns the Beta Hunt gold and nickel mine and the Higginsville operation, which currently comprises 2 underground mines and an open pit mine at Spargos. Until last month, all our ore was processed at the Higginsville mill, 80 kilometres south of Beta Hunt. This has changed with the acquisition of the Lakewood mill. We now have 2 mills to process our ore. I'll just point out those positions here. So here we have the Lakewood mill, right here in Kalgoorlie Boulder. We have the Beta Hunt mine 60 kilometres south, and then 80 kilometres further south again, we've got the Higginsville mining operation. So Karora has in place a growth plan to be a 200,000 ounce gold producer by 2024. The acquisition of this mill is a perfect fit for this plan. So I'll just get stuck straight into the Lakewood mill acquisition, as it is our most recent announcement. Now, I'll just move that slide forward. Here it is here, the Lakewood mill. The details of, some of the details around the purchase and where it is are on the slide. But the addition of the Lakewood mill increases our current nominal processing capacity to approximately 2.6 million tonnes a year. The acquisition of the mill significantly de-risks our growth plan by eliminating the procurement, schedule and construction risks associated with a major expansion of Karora's Higginsville mill. That was the original plan. So instead of sweating on these risks, we'll be in the business of producing gold. In the near term, the additional processing capacity provides the opportunity for toll milling until the Beta Hunt mine capacity expands to 2 million tonnes a year. And that should be completed by late 2024, 2025. So, in the last 3 years, we are building on a track record of consistent delivery of our targets. This includes consistent production and reduced asset costs. And you can see that, go back, you can see it on the graph there. Our 2021 guidance was met, and the 2022 production guidance of 115 to 130,000 ounces remains on track. In summary, the growth plan targets 200,000 ounces of gold production by 2024. It is aligned with a continued focus on cost reductions to $900 an ounce and is funded from cash and operating cash flow. Exploration is well supported from this cash flow and will provide increased resources for this growth plan. Okay, straight on to Beta Hunt. So Beta Hunt will provide the backbone to Karora's future growth. It is a 40-year mining operation that has produced over 350,000 ounces of gold and 60,000 nickel tonnes, with every indication of going for another 40 years. It is a unique mine where two commodities are mined separately but extracted from the same operation, essentially coming out of the same decline. So that's, as far as I'm aware, there's no other mine in the world that does this. Going on to our resource and reserves at Beta Hunt. So you can see there where our gold and nickel resources are. I'll try and point this out. I'm not sure if you can see the laser, but the green here are our current gold resources. We have the A zone, the western flanks, and the new deposit here, down here, the Larkin, which is in green, 260,000 ounces, and that was announced earlier this year. Our nickel resources are here, and they're in the blue here. You can see coming through here, overlaying some of the open pits that St Ives have mined. The impressive thing is that's 4.5 kilometres of strike. That's 4.5 kilometres of essential continuous mineralisation. You can see the offsets. They're not highlighted here, but you can see the offsets on the mineralisation. But those offsets just offset the mineralisation. Those offsets are post-mineralisation. So effectively, as I've said there, we've got 4.5 kilometres of continuous gold and nickel mineralisation. So right at the moment, Beta Hunt comprises a total resource of 1.9 million ounces of gold and 33,000 nickel tonnes. Okay, so I just want to bring this slide up because this is happening right now. The decline development is tracking on schedule and on budget for a Q1 2023 startup. So this is our, if I'm looking at the slide, you can see the decline that we've commenced over here. That's our second decline. The first decline is in grey behind here. The yellow outline is our second decline, and you can see it. This is in our LOM plan, and these are the colours here essentially represent what the LOM plan is based on, which is our current resource. So the resource base underpins Beta Hunt's expansion to a 2 million tonne per annum operation and is supported by a $10 million a year drilling program, equating to about 60,000 metres of drilling a year. Drilling has already met with early success with the addition of the 260,000 ounce Larkin deposit, which I've already highlighted. So exploration, that's mostly my job. So it's there to support the growth plan. And I'm just showing you this slide. There's just so many targets at Beta Hunt. It's really, I'd like to think of it as like a geologist's dream. We've got more targets than we know what to do with in some respects. The difficulty with the drilling some of these targets are they are underground, but certainly with the geology, the understanding of the geology, we've got plenty of targets out there to drill. I'll just go through some of them here, and we're actively drilling most of these targets right now. So we've got Western Flanks Deeps, which is below the green here. We've got A Zone North, the north end of A Zone. We've done some surface drilling. We've got the Fletcher Zone, which essentially is a third mineralised structure in the Hunt block. And then, of course, south of the Alpha Island Fault, we've got these new targets, and we're starting to name them now. We've got the Larkin, which we've already got a resource on, and we've now got indications of parallel systems, which we're calling Mason and Cowsall. And, of course, we've got potential mineralisation under East Alpha. And not to forget, as we explore further south, we're opening up the Gamma area down here, which represents another gold target. I'm just going to dwell on this slide a little bit because it's quite, in terms of geology, it's quite a simple relationship, but it plays a big part in understanding the story behind the mineralised systems at Beta Hunt. Essentially, where there is gold, you can expect nickel above you, and on the ultramafic London basalt contact. And where there is nickel, you can expect to find a gold mineralised shear below you. So if we're looking, if I go back, so what I wanted to highlight on this slide is the relationship. So if you look at the slide on the left, this is our nickel mineralisation. It's all the nickel above 2% in our drill holes. And you can see the clear trends there. The background there is the ultramafic basalt contact. And on the right-hand side, you can see the gold. Now, this is the gold mineralisation from our drill holes, everything above 5 grams a tonne. You can clearly see that the gold and nickel mimic each other in mineralisation. Now, this is a pretty good exploration model. What it's saying is that if you have nickel, like if you look here on the left-hand side screen, you can see the Hunt nickel deposit with all those colours. And you go to the right-hand side where the gold is, and directly below that nickel mineralisation is the A-zone gold deposit, which we're currently mining. So you scratch your head and you go, well, geez. Well, if you've got nickel from the historic work, maybe we should drill a few holes below that, because it seems to work at A-zone, it seems to work at Western Flanks. And lo and behold, we follow, this is our exploration model, and underpins a lot of the exploration drilling we are doing. So we essentially go out, and where we know there's nickel, we will go and drill holes below the nickel, and we will find and have found gold mineralised shears. And some of the success is at Fletcher, on the Fletcher zone, where we've found a major shear system at Fletcher, which is the third mineralised zone west of Western Flanks. And also below the mineralisation here, we've intersected Larkin, which is the 260,000 ounce deposit. So yeah, just a very simple exploration model, but the model works and is delivering new zones. So I'm going to quickly go through some of these slides. So this model is paying off. I won't go through all these results here, but we've got a number of success. We're now drilling all those exploration targets, and you can see from the results there, we've had quite a bit of success. I'd just like to highlight the Mason zone, where we intersected 90 metres at 1.5 grams a tonne west of the Larkin deposit. So all this is new and to be followed up with further drilling. More recently, this is some of the results that were announced last night. We're getting great results in the Larkin zone, 29.8 grams a tonne over 7.8 metres. But more encouragingly and very significantly, we've got some. We're starting to go deeper on the Western Flanks, and from the Western Flanks drilling, we now have extended the mineralisation up to 150 metres below the current resource, with a potential 75% increase in down dip extension on what we know already. So very encouraging. And this slide sort of gives you an indication of where that mineralisation is. So the background there, you've got the Western Flanks resource, and you can see our drilling is just starting to dip below at depth below the current Western Flanks resource. And that, with those half a dozen deep holes, we can see the mineralisation extending down at least 150 metres. So what it says now, we've now got, the Western Flanks is 1.6 kilometres long. That foray down below the current resource is now telling us we've got 1.6 kilometres of drilling open to us to drill over the next year or so. Very exciting. Quickly onto the nickel. This year we delivered a 22% increase in measured and indicated and a 52% increase in inferred nickel tonnes. The total resource at Beta Hunt now stands at 33,000 tonnes of nickel metal. The increase was mostly on the back of an 8,000 tonne increase associated with the maiden 50C trend nickel deposit, and that's that blue area right at the southern end of the mine. I just want to point out here that there's a lot of potential still left. So where we are here, where the green is, up the top where the 50C trend is, we've got this intersection down here, 9.5 metres at 11.4% nickel, and that is directly on trend from where the current resource is. And then for the full length of that trough, we've got a total extent of 2.6 kilometres. So lots of nickel still to come. Now briefly onto the Higginsville gold operation, where we are currently mining from 3 sources: Spargos open pit, Two Boys underground and Aquarius underground. We have a large resource base totaling 2 million ounces to provide a potential mining opportunity, which also includes the Trident gold mine. Now, the sleuth trend has been in some previous press releases, but the exploration at Higginsville is only just now gearing up after a bit of a slowdown with COVID and various other things over the last 6 to 8 months. But the sleuth trend for this example I've got here has been, as I said, has been previously highlighted in a number of press releases showing some pretty exciting results from early stage drilling at the Monsoon target, as indicated on the image. We've got 50 metres at 1.5 and 3 metres at 21.1 grams a tonne in some early stage drilling. The trend is interpreted as part of the Zuleika Shear, which is one of the most prospective shear zones in the Eastern Goldfields. Drilling is planned to follow up on previous results, plus test the 5-kilometre strike between Monsoon and Barloo Pit. The Rainier project, which I'm showing here, the prospect here, is on the border of the Lefroy Shear Zone and is an example of some of the new targets being developed by the new exploration team at Higginsville. The Karora resource base has significantly increased since 2019. Total resources are approaching 4 million ounces, with as I've mentioned before, our nickel resources now total 33,000 nickel tonnes. Just touching on ESG here, I would just like to highlight Karora's commitment to be a sector leader in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. In 2021, Karora reached carbon neutrality for Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions. And I just want to highlight again that addressing climate change forms a key pillar of Karora's ESG plan. All right, just in summary, Karora is a 120,000 ounce per year gold producer, aiming to be a 200,000 ounce producer sustained by self-funded growth plan, which includes an aggressive exploration drilling program supported by quality targets and backed up by a successful and experienced management team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Steve. We are slightly over time, so we won't have any time for questions today, so thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Jane.